Hey, 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 my name is Chinwé, and welcome back to the Rich Witch Show.
Whoa, it's the Rich Witch Show, where we make the magic of
all my rich witches and rich wizards out there in Weezy Wonderland. It's your girl Chinwé, aka Chinweezy, aka Madam Weezy, and welcome back to the 15th episode of the Rich Witch Show. Here we make the magical practical. Today we are going to be talking more about self-abuse. We started on it last week, talking about the ways in which we speak down on ourselves and beat ourselves up, and how that just transmutes into our everyday reality of self-condemnation, as Rosology said. I love that, or otherwise known as self-abuse. Okay, so we're going to continue on with that subject. Today we're going to talk about nice guilt, another term that I like to think that I coined. And we're also going to talk about accountability. How much accountability is too much motherfucking accountability? We're going to talk about it. All right. We're also going to talk about this full moon coming up tomorrow, August the 22nd, in the sign of Aquarius/Pisces. We're going to discuss more of the Pisces sign since we talked about the Aquarius in the last episode. We're also going to talk about Virgo season, what to motherfucking expect for motherfucking Virgo season. Then we have a performance by your girl Chinweezy, and then we're going to get real and heal. Again, talk more about this self-abuse. Tarot talk comes after that, and Magnify the Magic. But before we do any of that, y'all know we got to thank our ancestors, thank our descendants coming through heavy. Archangel Ariel, Archangel Michael. Also want to thank myself, also my inner child, my little inner child. She's been coming up. She's been having a lot to say. She did not come to play with these people, okay? And so without further ado, we're going to jump right into tarot talk and see what our inner child wants to say. She's very lively, or he, however you self-identify, but we're just going to jump into tarot talk because there's some messages. And you know how things go on this show. We take it by the intuition. Okay, first thing that jumped out was the Chariot. Forward ass movement. God damn. Forward ass movement, like a sense of urgency, like quickness, like North Node, heavy on the North Node vibes. I want you to locate North Node energy in your chart. What house is it in? What sign is it in? I know for me, it's Sagittarius. Is it Sagittarius? Yes, it's Sagittarius in the 11th house, something like that. I got to go back and look at it. It's been a while since I even looked at my own birth chart. But so heavy on the Sagittarius energy. And I saw someone say that, and also Cancer. Sagittarius has a lot to do with gratitude, which is probably why I have on my grateful shirt today. And I have on sweats too, and we'll talk more about that when we jump into planet power at some point. But there's a lot of forward movement. Your inner child wants you to know that you are on your North Node. You're probably seeing a lot of deja vu moments at this time, and waking up just feeling really grateful and really in a really great space, and you can't really explain it, but it's because you're really moving forward. There could also be some maternal energy. Cancer. There's something that you did in Cancer season that's leading you to some sort of victory. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Cancer season. Interestingly enough, we got to go back a little bit. Okay, so remember in one of those episodes where I said your past is your future? So I really feel, in the world. Yes, Major Arcana. Hold on. Yes, at the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so we got the World now and the Chariot. Oh my God, you're creating something so totally brand new. And I love that for you. I love that for us. And I feel that energy. Right now, you have the ability to manifest, especially over the next 14 days. Now, there were some seeds that you planted over the last 7 years or 14 years, or since you were 14, something happened when you were 14. I know what happened when I was 14. So some seeds have been blossoming and blooming since you were 14 years old or 14 years ago. And over the next 14 days and 14 years, you're starting a new cycle. You're starting a new cycle with this Chariot. It's probably why I'm getting Cancerian energy, the number 7, because Cancer is number 7. So, excuse me, heavy on the burp. You are definitely creating a new cycle, and you're on your North Node energy, and it's just totally changing your trajectory for the next 7 to 14 years. Okay. At the end of this next 7 years, you'll have completed a cycle, and you're entering into a whole new cycle right now. And it's going to be very weird because you've never been in your authenticity. You've never been this person that is able to attract. You've always been somebody that's had to work really hard for everything. And so to be in this energy where you attract, really pause and reflect on where you are and realize you have everything that you want. I'm going to pull a couple of cards now from this self-care deck. Oh, okay. Honey, the cards are flying out. So we got spend time with animals at the bottom of the deck. I know I gotta go see my baby. Because animals talk to you, honey. Oh, we have read and we have connect with crystals. Interesting. Okay, so you might want to put some crystals in your bra. There's a book that you need to read. You could also be doing a lot of reading. Yes, with this Virgo energy. Okay, so planet power. That's what time it is right now. And we're just combining all of them together because that's what we got going on. So for Virgo season, what I'm heavily seeing here, this is what I'm picking up here. It's being kicked off by that full moon, first of all, which could be where this Cancerian energy is coming from. And then underneath the Empress at the bottom of the deck, we have the moon. So the full moon is coming up on August the 22nd, and it's in Aquarius. And then like the second half of the day, it moves into Pisces. 1 second. Virgo season is being kicked off energetically on the full moon, which is in Pisces. And you know, Pisces is the opposite of Virgo. Okay, so Piscean energy, what I'm really heavily picking up on here with the Cancer and this blue, is all about completion. Thank you. The end of a motherfucking cycle. This is the World card. This is 21. Oh my God, 7, 14, 21. Multiples of 7 are so important. But anyway, closing out a cycle, closing out some karmic cycles too, because Pisces rules the 12th house, and the 12th house is all about your, in addition to your 7th house, but it's all about, 12th house is about what's going on beneath the surface, that shadow, that connection that we have to other people. And it also talks about karma, past life karma, things of that nature. And something to do here with animals. I don't know if you were an animal in your past life, or you have a really strong connection to animals, telepathic communication with animals, and use this Piscean energy to telepathically communicate with people. Okay, but you are definitely closing out a cycle with this full moon. Whatever intentions that you set during Pisces season, remember I said last week the month of March could be significant. So whatever, go back and look at your intentions for March. What did you do in March? I know in March I launched this show. I know in March I started working on this show. I finally came out of my seasonal affective disorder, and I finally was able to stop being depressed. The sun came out. I know that I relocated at the end of March. So what happened in March? You're coming, because now all of that really hard work that you've been putting in, which is the opposite of this energy, is now coming to a point of you just being able to coast. It's heavy on the 6 of Swords energy. So for Virgo season, that's why I got my sweats on. That's why I was led to put on sweats, because it really is an energy of chilling. Like just big chilling. Look at all this major arcana. We got the Chariot, we got the World, we got the Empress and the Moon underneath that, and the Emperor underneath that. Big ass chilling. Interesting. And then you have here the bottom of the deck, the Moon in between the Emperor and the Empress. There's always something in between. There's always something in between. The other day I pulled the King and the Queen of Pentacles, and there was the 9 of Pentacles sitting in between them. There's always something sitting in between these two energies. Shadow work. It could be shadow work. I just got a spasm on my calf muscle. So there's some shadow work that's happening here beneath the surface. I don't feel it's anything that you really need to do. You really just need to coast and let things happen. And it may be a little uncomfortable. It might be a little unnerving, because you're in your feelings. You're in this Cancerian energy where you're able to feel, and telepathically you're picking up on so much energy. But again, there's a lot going on beneath the surface here. There's new plans being made, and you're attracting it. Big burp, excuse me. There's new plans being made, and you're attracting it. Also, you've attracted new plans. And in order to solidify and get these new plans rolling, there has to be some shadow work that goes into play, dealing with your selfishness, dealing with your subconscious beliefs about yourself, jealousy, expecting people to be jealous of you, expecting people to trick you, to play mind games with you. But I honestly feel like you are learning that lesson. If you haven't already, you're learning that lesson. There's our 6 of Swords. You are learning that lesson, and you're moving forward, and you're in a space where you can just kind of coast. You're in a space where you can coast. And it doesn't mean there's not going to be hiccups, because when you're in the water and you're coasting, there's going to be choppy waters, right? with the blue. But I do feel you're in a space of just riding, like just ride it out. Ride it out. You're in a new cycle. It's weird, it's uncomfortable, but with Virgo, okay, so also with Virgo energy, so we're coasting, we're big chilling, we're reaping our harvest. Look at how bountiful and plentiful she looks, and we are also reading between the lines with those details. And because Virgo, I'm sorry, our table keeps shaking, because Virgo, shaking the table, is an earth sign here, it's very good to connect with physical, tangible elements. And even though, well, by the time this gets to y'all, we will be in our Virgo energy. It's a great, yeah, you got to get tangible. So put some crystals in your bra. Put some crystals in your bra. And yeah, you're going to be reading a lot of details, seeing between the lines, and physically actually reading articles. But I'm getting physical books because Virgo is an earth sign, it's tangible. You need to read and touch and tactile, very tactile energy, but you're also coasting, and you're gonna be seeing this materialization of your faith when it comes to Pisces, because Pisces is about that faith, right? We just came out of the age of Pisces. Reminds me of Jesus. You could be talking to Jesus. The number 333, the number 12 is also very, very, very significant. It is the number of completion. So congratulations on entering into a new ass cycle, and I'm super duper excited for y'all, even though we kind of went off 12 on the clock. Thank you. Off the we went off the schedule. We did tarot talk and then we did planet power, but that's okay. And right now we got a performance coming up, EASY, aka Easy, by your girl Chinwé, right here on the Rich Wish Show. I can give you the rules, but you still wouldn't get there. God gave you the tools, but you refuse to change your living. Hell-bent on existent, dissatisfied with content, but fuck being patient. It's time for me to exit. Hey, I look at you, Pikachu. I check you out, cause God. Shaking turkey bacon. Yeah, I see you got rid of your doubt. I know that I make this shit look so easy, but you couldn't walk a mile in these custom ugly seats. Sheepskin, not thin, emanating confidence. And I'm done trying to prove to you that I am radiant. No, you think I woke up and followed my dreams. You're actually right. Told you I'm the greatest. So when I go to sleep, it's when I really come to life. Yes, why I don't compete. You lose every time. Oh, with these, that's how I live my life. But best believe that your girl pay the price. Yes, y'all give it up for Chinwé. Woo! You know what time it is. It's time to get real and heal. Give me some, give me some, give me some. Yes. Okay, so what is we talking about today? Today we is talking about nice guilt, and we're talking about accountability. This is all under the umbrella of self-abuse, which is what we are discussing for the month of August 2021. What is self-abuse? A brief recap. Last week we talked about self-abuse is just basically being the negative ways that we put ourselves down and talk about ourselves and demean ourselves. And it could be the simplest of things, but what we talked about last week was when we make mistakes and we beat ourselves up for these mistakes, and we're just way too hard on ourselves, and we're disappointed in ourselves, and we start labeling ourselves based upon really simple mistakes. And what is a mistake? A mistake is a misunderstanding. A mistake is simply a misinterpretation. And what is failure? Failure just means to stumble. It just means, like we were talking about earlier, those choppy waters, a little bit of a stumble, but it doesn't mean that you stop. It doesn't mean that you look back. It doesn't mean that you begin doubting yourself. Okay, so sorry about that. Today we're going to talk about nice guilt. Excuse me. Yes. So nice guilt. So funny. Nice guilt is basically where you feel guilty for not fully appreciating people who were kind to you. Now, I talk about this a lot in my book, but on our spiritual journey, we spend so much time cutting out toxic people and things and environments that, okay, thank you, that when we do come across people that are nice or kind, or, you know, we spend a lot of time reflecting. And so you start reflecting on all these people or situations, that weren't the best for you. And you also remember the people, these situations, that environments that were super kind to you, that were super helpful, that were super innovative and inspiring. And so what can happen is you feel like you owe them something, because they were actually kind to you. Now, especially when you've been in abusive situations, you feel like nothing you do is good enough, or, you know, you're just used to being mistreated or taken advantage of. So when you come across someone or some people or some places that are kind to you, you feel like you got to give them your all. You got to give them your world. You got to stop everything that you're doing and make them the center of your universe, because that's how it felt to have someone or something treat you like you mattered at some point. Remember? Oh my God, this is the first thing we talked about in the first episode. You matter. So when you come across somebody, or you may have came across somebody in your past that actually treated you like you mattered, now we start going into that subconscious intricacies that we were talking about yesterday, of feeling guilty that you didn't fully appreciate them in that moment. And you start really believing that you didn't appreciate them in that moment. And so that creates this cycle of codependency within your new and improved North Node energy. And it's really something that we have to be careful of. And it's something that I have done several times. It's something that I went through with my twin flame, where I'm like, oh my God, you were the only person I ever dated that actually cared about me. You really only the real relationship I really had outside of high school. I don't know if high school really counts, but and you actually appreciated me. And I didn't see that before, because I didn't appreciate you. I didn't love myself. And so I pushed you away. When self-sabotage is a myth, didn't push him away, just wasn't yet ready. And so what we find ourselves doing is just going over and beyond and degrading ourselves and limiting ourselves and not being a bad bitch, as I've been told, because now you value someone's persona, who they are. And that's a really hard thing to cope with, because how do you know that as you're interacting with this person who you now appreciate, how do you know if you're doing it from a place of genuine love and appreciation, or from a place of lack and from a place of guilt? Well, there's really no way to know. There's really no way to know unless you know that you are confident in yourself. Like, okay, yes, I felt bad about the past. Yes, I wasn't necessarily right in the past, but at some point we have to stop beating ourselves up for the way we acted before and the way we treated this person before. That's why this is a form of self-abuse, because you are being so hard on yourself for what you didn't know in the past. Okay, we all come across people who are great that didn't appreciate us, just like we come across people who didn't appreciate it. We come across people who are great who we didn't appreciate, just like we come across people who don't appreciate us. And so there's no need to constantly beat yourself up about how you treated someone in the past. If you have an opportunity now to make that right, or to give that person that appreciation, it's fine to do that now in the present, but understand you're operating in the present. The present. You cannot make the past right. Yes, karma is going to come back around and eat that ass up, but that is out of your control. The only thing that you can control is what you do in the present, the gratitude that you show in the present, the love that you show in the present, and really talk to yourself and know, I'm doing this from a place of love. I'm doing this because I genuinely appreciate you, not because I feel guilty about not appreciating you in the past, but because right here in this present moment, I can see your worth. And I'm going to show you that. And I'm going to show myself that. That's why I can show you that, because I love and appreciate myself. Understand that. You're not coming from a place of lack when you can see the beauty in someone else. You're coming from a place of fullness, because they're only reflecting to you what you see in yourself. And in order to see the beauty and appreciate the love from somebody else, you have to see the beauty and appreciate the love within yourself. And that's why we say at some point you have to stop taking accountability. Spirituality is very tricky, because you will go down these rabbit holes of self-abuse. You will go down, well, why do I act this way? Why do I do that? Why? And at some point, yes, we say we attract what we are. And sometimes motherfuckers come into your life to teach you a lesson. It's not a reflection of who you are. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you have a bad taste in people or you haven't resolved a lot of issues or you're not constantly doing the best that you can, which is what we were affirming last week. It just means that this was a fated experience to teach you something. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean that you did this. You did not do this. Thank you. Stomp up the stairs. You did not do this. You did not put yourself in a situation to be hurt and abused. This is just something that happened. And that's what I mean by how much accountability is just too much accountability. Because we've got to get to a place where our confidence tells us I'm doing everything right. It doesn't mean I'm not going to stumble. It doesn't mean I'm not going to have miscommunications and misinterpretations with people or even myself, my inner child. But I also know that I can't fuck this up. And this was a message that I got in the very last or next to last podcast that I did last year. You can't fuck this up. So if you're living under the guise that I can't fuck this up, and I do take accountability when I'm having conversations and I see other people's perspectives, but then at some point I have to say, no, this is my life. This is how I choose to live my life. And I'm not going to feel guilty about who I now am. We've got to live in the present moment. And I really hope this is coming through clearly, because it's kind of hard to explain, because you want to take accountability. Yes, you want to say, what did I do to contribute to this situation? The only thing that you can contribute to any situation is to be your authentic self. And if you can honestly and truly say that I was my authentic self, that I'm doing what makes me happy, that I'm on my North Node energy, that I'm following my intuition, I'm trusting myself, that I got up and I did the best I could with my appearance, that I took care of myself to the best of my ability, that I communicated what I felt and thought authentically. If you are living authentically, honey, you have nothing to apologize for. And I'm going to say this right here in front of the whole world. I'm doing my show. I'm not overworking myself. I'm not going back to get my doctoral degree because that master's program whooped my motherfucking ass, and I'm not going back. I am living authentically. I have professed my love. I give my love to those that give it back to me. I am doing me genuinely. I stopped talking to my parents because I understand that you do have to be respectful of your parents. I'm not at the place where I could do that because I don't respect them. So I'm not going to block my blessings by constantly interacting with them and disrespecting them. So it's best for me, for Chinwé Salism upon your cook. And I'm only sharing this because there might be other people out there who know that your parents are not your parents. You know what I mean? They're literally the physical vessels that were sent here to bring you here and to contain you until it was time for you to fly. But as far as your life purpose, they're not a part of it. They're not a part of that North Node energy. Not right here in this present moment. We're getting present as hell. Okay, so as long as you are living authentically, take a break from some accountability, which is also what we're talking about with Virgo energy. And I think that's why we need to really talk about it, because Virgos, we can be so, I'm a Virgo sun, Virgo stellium, ninth house stellium. Do you understand how many planets? I got like 4-5 planets sitting in Virgo. So I understand with that read card that we got earlier about the details, I understand how easy it is to beat yourself up because we are very hard on ourselves. So this Virgo season, Spirit, Mother Gaia, Archangel Ariel, especially Archangel Ariel, is encouraging you to get tangible, to touch things. And in order to get tangible, you got to get present. So be very present and be very proud of all that you've accomplished and chill. Just chill. We're not beating ourselves up this Virgo season. I know my Virgos had a hard, we had some rough birthdays last year. I know several Virgos who had like panic attacks last year because our third eye is open. And so we've been undergoing huge transformative lessons. And I know this year, I'm turning 28. 2 and 8 equals 10. That's the completion of a cycle, which is why that world card was coming up earlier. And so that's why we are coasting to the finish line. A lot of people are coasting to the finish line. No matter, even if you're not, even if your age doesn't add up to 10, figure out what it means for you. You're turning 29, that's 11, that's mastery. That's master manifester. That's master protection, master understanding. Figure out what numbers for you. If your numbers adds up to 12, because 12 has been heavily significant, still closing out that cycle, wishes being granted, having a solid team behind you. Look at who's your team. You have 12 people on your team. You might have a starting 5, whichever you identify with. I don't know how many people is in football, but you have a team. Look around at your team and assess that. But we're not beating ourselves up this Virgo season. We're chilling. We're still looking good, but we're chilling. That's what these sweats are giving me. Chill vibes. Just chill. Settle down. That's what we're doing right now. All right, so I hope that makes sense. That's what we got for Get Real and Heal. And right now, we're going to magnify that magic just for a couple of minutes. We're going to meditate. It's time to turn down for what? Magnify the magic. So Magnify the Magic is the group hypnosis where 2 or more are gathered. We are able to intensify those intentions. Remember, you are always in the presence of your ancestors, your descendants, your Sirius star family, your archangels. Oh, I'm going to cry. I always cry during Magnify the Magic. I don't know what's going on this month, but Magnify the Magic is bringing out a lot of tears. There's so many people around you. And I saw them earlier. There's fairies, there's grandmas and little babies. There's so much beautiful energy around you. And I really want you to know that last week we were crying out of pain. This week we're crying out of joy. So anyway, hypnosis is a faster way to rewire that subconscious. What are we talking about today? Nice guilt. So just a faster way to say, I'm not fucking up. That's my intention. Please think of an intention right now. Okay, this is not no V for Vendetta type shit. I'm not trying to get you to shut down your brain and then I take over the world. That's not what we're doing here. This is just a way to rewire your subconscious and get what you want out of this life. Okay, so set an intention. I told you I got mine, which is to just know I'm not fucking up. I'm doing everything. I have so much gratitude in my heart. So anyway, I'm gonna say a statement. Look at that mosquito. And it's, I am grateful for the abundance of, and I want you to fill in the blank. I'm gonna count down from 5. When I snap my fingers, we will enter into a hypnotic trance and magnify that magic together. Okay. I'm just in a good mood. Okay, 5. I am grateful for the abundance of. 4. I am grateful for the abundance of. 3. I am grateful for the abundance of. 2. I am grateful for the abundance of. 1. I am grateful for the abundance of. How was your meditation? Smile was pretty good. I couldn't stop smiling. I just got so much joy in my heart, and I don't even know why. I just am, and I'm sending all that joy and that love and that luck and that healing and that Virgo energy to you. Happy full moon in Aquarius/Pisces. We're gonna talk more about self-abuse next week. We're gonna talk about how it manifests itself in your reality, like what it physically looks like, because we've been talking about concepts. So accountability is a concept. Beating yourself up, now that's something tangible, but it's still a concept of the way you talk to yourself. But we're going to talk about the physical ways that self-abuse manifests, the way you treat yourself physically, what that actually looks like, to help put it into perspective. And you may know some people that are going through this, or you may realize, oh my God, I did that to myself. I don't know where the accent is coming from, but okay. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode. And I'm just so happy. Make sure you check out the tarot course at richwishow.com. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really loving it. There are new videos uploaded weekly. It's only $4.99 a month, and you can learn at your own pace. The videos are very short. They're like 5 minutes a piece, but I'm going through every single card in the deck, and I just love it so much. I love tarot so much. Anyway, I'm sending y'all lots of love and luck. I will see y'all next week on The Rich Wish Show. See you on the other side. Bye.
It's the Rich Wish Show. I said